Good morning, and thank you for joining us for another Sales and Marketing FriTalks. As you know, usually every second Friday we share insights, best practices, and anecdotes from technology companies. And this time we decided to talk about how effectively scale your cloud business. And the cloud has introduced lots of new opportunities for resellers, IT service providers, system integrators, you name it. But also it brought a lot of challenges on especially how to stay competitive and profitable while you're scaling your business, entering new markets, new segments, and things like that. And together with us, we have a returning dear guest, Gabor Vass, partner business development lead at Microsoft, who will help us explore how to effectively scale the cloud business. So welcome, Gabor.
Welcome back.
Good morning.
Excellent.
Good morning, Roland, and thanks for the opportunity. I just realized it has been over a year we had the last talk, so very happy to come back.
Yeah, exactly. A year ago, we talked about the profitability of the cloud business. And those who are interested, please roll back our episodes and watch that. Was also one incredible episode with Gabor, what you will definitely find useful. So let's kick off a conversation. And firstly, I think it's important to understand what actually cloud has brought in terms of the changes in the landscape of the business, what Microsoft partners and other IT companies are dealing with.
So I think when you look at, we have been talking about cloud since, multiple years, and that's the magic word. But what I believe it's important to look a little bit that we see this shift continuing and accelerating even though. But I think there are a couple of factors I would like to bring you and the partners' attention, which I believe it's important to look at now. And there is always one thing I'm starting from. These are like the externalities, like the things that you cannot really influence that it's happening. And we are unfortunately get to bad news always. Like we remember when we had very good 15 years, then COVID started, then war started, and then you see the economic impact of this one. So there are always, I listened to a very good consultant pitching about economics, but for me, the key three takeaways was as a potential, if I would be a partner, the three things that I see is changing now. Customer and partner world. First of all, the cost of capital. Excess of capital is significantly increasing. And we will translate that a little bit to customer and partners. The second thing that I see, obviously, is the inflation and currency fluctuation that impacts partners and also customer life. The third one, what I took out from this long list of challenges is the challenge on supply. And if you think about challenge of supply, you need to think about also like material supply, but also people supply. These are the two factors that I think are important because we cannot influence, but we need to be agile to be able to answer. So when you first think about what does it mean today for the customers, you always see specific areas that are accelerating. When you think about COVID, we like it or not, hybrid work and potential technology that can solve hybrid work challenge significantly increased. We like it or not, unfortunately, war created a huge demand on security. True. When you think about the current global economical topic, again, companies, customers are rethinking their cost structure, rethinking their potential big investment, from kind of even moving away from big projects as thinking potentially for short-term answers. And I think this is, Andre, when you started like, okay, but what does it mean for a partner level that we try to say that cloud becomes not like it's a business driver now. So it's not the old discussion like why should you move from your on-prem infrastructure to cloud? But during the last 6 months, we see significant, motivation to customers to ensure that they can scale via cloud. So cloud start to get like the normal decision. The question is more, what cloud and what type of service you would like to buy from cloud. So that's something that I see obviously accelerating, shifting with the business. The second thing which continued is that, we discussed probably last time, like the old model of reselling. Then you do project-based deployment, one big project where you bring, and then you start to build your business to this repetitive, recurring service revenue. What I observe is that IP, partners' intellectual property, is something that is starting to increase. And I think if I may call out two specific examples that I see lately, sustainability, it's an amazing hot topic. If you can build any potential solution that can help customers to, we have this like record, report, reduce. So how you collect data from your manufacturing, from your agricultural, from your company, how you can put it in a reportable format that you can put, and how you can make decision. So that's, for example, one of the key cool topics that I see, that partner IP and profitability on partner IP is getting really, really the shift now, moving from like, okay, how many licenses do you need? What type of server do you need? And let me just deliver and compete with other partners on 4 or 5% margin.
So in other words, what you see that there is much more partners like of Microsoft or in general cloud partners who are starting to design and offer on the market own services, own products, instead of just staying on the reseller, let's say, business model.
Exactly, and this is one of the topic what differentiates go-to-market and how you do marketing and sales, because the shift really accelerated. So if you are on the market to provide Microsoft small and medium Office licenses, then you will compete with 20 other partners with the same message. If you can package it in a way that you provide a hybrid work environment, where you also do deployment management, potential security services to the customer, you can package your solution and sell with your solution, which has a different value proposition than just the discussion about, okay, do you need 50 or 52 E3 licenses? That's the differentiation. And if you can add something which is your own IP, which might be industry relevant, frontline worker, retail shopper, iPad scenario, when you can look at the store, e-commerce, anything which goes into this industry scenario, that's where we see that the differentiation starts. And I just had a talk a couple months ago with, I will not name the partner, it's a partner from Czech, and it was amazing learning also from my side. Like, what they did is practically went super deep on manufacturing and e-commerce scenarios and provided a very specific solution. So they moved away totally from this, like process optimization, the heart of the business. And then, they cannot scale. The orders and the number of project they should scale. Now they have the luxury challenge, I call that, how you can make sure that you have enough capacity.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's like the luxury problem. That's always like each of us would like to see.
Yeah, so that kind of sounds obvious, because basically on just pure reselling, you cannot really make your profit, right? Because as you said, there are tens or maybe even hundreds, and nowadays in EU, you definitely compete with the whole like EU market for delivering these licenses, and it's very hard. But then basically the path for you to make a higher profit, to grow your business in terms of more value add projects, that's exactly going into developing your own solution or combining different elements of cloud provider with your value added services and delivering it to your customers on specialized kind of manner. Like, would it be an industry focus? Would it be some vertical solution type of focus or something like that? That is what you see like as a growing trend, right?
Absolutely. And I think it raises I see one of the biggest challenge from my experience when we work with partners, that in many cases they underestimate the time and energy that needs to be spent on go-to-market. And as we are talking about marketing and sales, which kind of like the whole customer journey, I see many examples when partners creating a cool solution, or they have a super smart technical guy creating the coolest AI-based predictive analytics something, and then they want to go and sell it to Germany. And I think the big topic that is missing, that do you really spend time on kind of like three different layers? What does it mean for the customer? What does it mean for the vendor, like Microsoft, AWS, Google, name it, Oracle, you work together, Salesforce, whoever. And the third one, what does it mean for you as a partner? In another way, what is the optimal go-to-market scenario for you? I think that's probably one of the most underrated or undervalued time spent with partners. You create the product, and then you want to sell it in the US. And then you think, okay, I will pay some marketplace, or I will do co-sell with Microsoft, and then it's not working. Why? So I think for me, if I may say, in the last months and the last year, probably that's one of the and I see like three layers that I would even propose, or if I can give an advice to partners to think about that. You need to relatively simplify, but you need to go through this sometimes frustrating, sometimes very painful exercise that you try to give hard answers. And like for me, the simplest, stupidest questions that many case partners are failing. Okay, but what is the pain point that it solves to customer? Is it relevant to a specific customer pain point? And
why would they pay in the end of the day, right?
That's even like, okay, that's even what you say is like, okay, how will I monetize it? But one example I saw, and it was very interesting, and again, I'm not trying to not pitch it Microsoft, but other vendors has it as well. My proposal would be probably one topic we can offer, and it makes sense, that these guys, like these big vendors, usually create solution playbooks, which creates a specific scenario that is solving customer problem. There are industry playbooks, there are solution playbooks, where this, like if you have a retail customer, what are the potential scenarios and what are the potential answers? I would propose to start from here, because it can really help to think it through what your solution will solve as a customer problem. I think that's for me the number one that I see sometimes partners are failing to spend enough time.
Yeah, and it is very, very crucial, because if your solution may be really very advanced, as you said, based on latest AI technology or whatever else, but if there is no real need for that on the market, or you are not able really communicate it properly, that's a big risk, especially when you are thinking of scaling to another market. And we also have seen this quite a lot when there is such a big excitement about the solution that maybe they already have some local projects which turn to be successful, right? But when it comes to selling it abroad, when it comes to selling it to new markets, to new territories, it's a completely different game, because nobody knows you at these territories, and you need to kind of create a connection with your clients, potential clients. And that's exactly starts with answering the question, what it means for the client, why they will buy it, and how do you differentiate from maybe other alternatives and things like that. Yeah.
And I think also quite a lot of companies still underappreciate effort which must go into marketing and into sales. And I would say that tech companies very often are technically brilliant, and they are used to work according to methodologies, processes, procedures, what relates to their product development. But somehow they very often like to take shortcuts and think that it's enough to build a great product and customers somehow will come. But that is very often not the case. Having the product is just the first step. And also, what I have noticed is that many companies underestimate the investment required, first of all, in marketing in general, right? And second thing is the economical model of their cloud business, because after they make sale, right, it will take several months at best until they break even, and very often they just somehow don't plan for that.
And I think you touched a very important point, and I think so after the planning, one of the things that I see that many owners, business leads, they still look at marketing as like, let's invite customers, let's put a Molino behind. I'm sarcastic, sorry, by intention. Let's put a Molino behind, let's dress up well, let's have something, and then that's marketing. And then we will do the hard sales. We dress up, nice suit, I go, I look at the customer eye, and I will convert him, and so on. And I think what I see that in reality, and this is what also Microsoft is doing, like you need to build up a kind of an optimal customer scenario, a customer touch point. And this is also the point that we mentioned, that sometimes partners don't spend time. There are certain logical steps that you, in an ideal scenario, would like to bring your customer. And it starts obviously with awareness, or it starts with, nice events, or you can do things. But if you don't have the next logical step, how do you validate the outcome of your in-person event or webinar event? How do you qualify Opti? I think this is where I see the biggest gap based on my experience. If it's already sales, you create workshop, or you do a proof of concept, deploy the solution, then salespeople know what to do. Marketing people can do the best event, they have a nice, but the bridge in between is very often missing. Okay, what do I do with those 50 customers that are participating? Can I trigger some next logical step? Look, I hope you were interested. What if we go a little bit deeper and introduce you a specific solution that you might solve your potential challenge? Okay, if you that, are you interested? So what if we do a specific assessment? How would it look like for your company? What is the TCO calculation? And it sounds very sophisticated. And I know we discussed that, sometimes like big partners or sophisticated partners do, but kind of like a smaller partner might not think this way. I think, go ahead.
Yeah, I think in reality, it's not so hard, actually, if you really just put your kind of all activities into the context of this journey, right? As you said, like concept, if you understand what are these, let's say, critical steps for customers to accept your solution and to buy it, like what they need to go through, because and if you understand that, and if you have aligned your activities according to this, you will be very much more successful, because what we have seen is that often, again, because of the excitement on the technology, on the product, technology companies, they start immediately with selling, and that not always what actually your potential customers ready for. Most of them actually are not, and you need to still kind of help them understand and recognize why do they need this solution, and then show them how this solution, as you said, like can help them. I just literally yesterday had one conversation with the client of our client for the interview. We were running an interview, and it was interesting that the lady, she said, yeah, I like actually attending events, but nowadays there are so many events, it's really hard to prioritize, and more importantly, the value of this is very low for me. And I asked, okay, but what would be the value? She said, yeah, I like that people come and share the vision, like for my industry, for my company, what I need to do for whatever, digital transformation, something like that. But vision for me is not enough. What I want to see is how I can apply this vision into my specific situation, right? So that they understand where I am in the journey and show me like already prepared ideas, right? Prepared like solutions. And that's actually sometimes what is missing. Either people run too fast into solutions and customers simply don't understand that why they need, because they don't have a vision for that, or they share a vision but they don't connect it with the next steps and possible outcomes. And I think, as you said, so building this bridge between like different steps of the customer journey would definitely be very helpful.
And I tell you this very transparently because I learned this in a hard way, and this is always my proposal. That like couple of things. One, I'm coming from sales, and I remember how much I was underestimating when you have this word like, okay, I do a social campaign and there is a lead. And from seller perspective, what you expect, okay, give me the contact, and I'm expecting that this contact would like to already buy my product. So what I need to do as a salesperson, call the customer to say, I heard you are interested in my solution. How much do you need? I'm simplifying, I'm sarcastic.
Sure.
And then the customer, look, no, I have no clue what I want. I just was in an event. It seems interesting. So I shared my contract, but come on. And then sellers comes, it was a very low quality lead. No, it doesn't. So this is the bridge. And these are the simple steps that partners need to think about. Marketing can create, LinkedIn can create, Google Optimism. You can get a lot of signals, but you need to convert it to interest, to leads, and you need to do certain steps. And I think that's an area where vendors like Microsoft can help, consultant like you can help. And this is where I would like, if one specific proposal to the partners, if you have a solution, these guys like Microsoft is publishing this playbook. It's available. Like if you go to the web, see Partner Zone, you have this security playbook, modern work playbook. It might be that it's complex. Simplify it for yourself, but it can help to identify what type of programs can help to move step by step onto this customer journey. And then you can do your own action. And I think the second secret is that use others' money. Meaning that if vendor like Microsoft has a program that we pay partners for a 90-minute specific discussion for a customer, and you can show that you presented, we pay like $1,000. So you don't need to use your pre-sales cost. Vendors, others that are doing the same, are offloading. So do you know on a specific steps what is the program, what you would like to do, and can you use it somehow from, are you getting incentives on this one or any investment for the partners? Looking at two partners who knows this, who reading through this, I call them like the ugly playbooks, the difference is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a lot of opportunities to leverage what already exists, both like resources, but also like a funding and actually the possibility to reach out to the clients. And here I have another question. Actually, it links very well with another topic of scalability. Like vendors like Microsoft, others, they offer so-called like co-sell motions or something which kind of helps solution vendor to introduce their solution to the broad audience of these cloud vendors. So do you see this as a good kind of opportunity to scale, or it still needs to be like very carefully adjusted based on your solution and markets you are entering, or how does it work?
I think that's the future, but it links back to the question, can you really validate how your solution is relevant to customer, but also to the vendor? Let me take this example, co-sell. 50-60% of Microsoft forward-looking pipeline is with partners. We do this with the co-sell, either selling Microsoft first-party solution or partner third-party. So we have many thousand engagement only in Central Eastern Europe. However, to do really co-sell, as I mentioned, if your solution, the average deal, you need to understand what the Microsoft seller is motivated, how this will help to the seller to drive, in our case, Azure consumed revenue. So co-sell is a very tailor-made. It works only for a set of solution, top 3-5 solution, a specific scenario where you can get the biggest business. And this is where you need to be very critical. I saw this very case, like I create a solution, it's IP co-sell ready, so Microsoft will sell it for me. You cannot scale. You have limited people who would do this and limited interest. limited interest if you have a $10,000 Azure solution. An enterprise lead is not going to pay attention to this. Sorry to say, but I think this is the brutal honesty that you need to face. So the question is, what other layers of co-selling with Microsoft works? And one of the things that it's coming P2P, can you use Microsoft ecosystem to link with another solution? Think about the following.
So P2P means for the partner to partner, right? Connecting with other partners.
Yes. Yeah. You create the IP in Baltics, in Poland, but you want to go to Greece. So the question, can you link with the office line in Greece, who has the local integration capacity and the local one, and create this motion via the other partner? So you have the IP, local knowledge, local go-to-market with a partner. That's something that it's coming. Even you can think about distributors like big guys, Tech Data, also Logicom, these guys that have a regional presence in multiple countries that can drive scalable solution. And finally, obviously, marketplace. Marketplace where you have all the vendors has some type of marketplace solution. And again, I'm just always pitching this to my team, to everyone. There are, and I cannot share the exact number, but let's say multi-million-dollar revenue coming in C on Azure. We haven't even touched the customer. Customer goes to marketplace, finds us, and everybody like sellers are looking like, wow, how did it happen? You know why? Because customer didn't need it to go to RFP. It's an approved vendor qualified RFP. Instead of RFP, they can purchase it. So the time to market and the acceleration, sometimes it's like, we are also surprised what type of stories are coming out.
But probably in order to be successful on this marketplace, you have to be very standardized and very kind of specific solution, right? Because otherwise it's very hard to imagine somebody buying it, right?
Good point. And I think the answer is here. It might be that you want to be in marketplace just to bring traffic to your solution. If your solution is very tailored, you need to deploy. You need to do. Marketplace can be good bringing connection, new leads. If this is a little bit something that some part of your solution, so it's not a software as a service, but some type of solution you can demo, trial is the answer. Can you bring customer to marketplace and can you convert them to a trial?
Yes.
And the final stage is when you have transactable solution. That's when you have the full automated process. Customer can go there, look at it, driving trial. And I think then the question for partner, how can you work with marketing agencies? How can I work with expert to bring traffic to marketplace to the specific solution? I think these are the key points.
Yeah, so whatever you do, it seems that marketing should be definitely and hardly involved into that, in one or another manner. And we see that
redefine marketing and think about very tough lead generation engine. Can you get leads, and what is the next step to qualify the leads, and what you will do? This kind of like, not in a complex, you can look at the complicated way how we are doing at Microsoft in a complex way. Take out the things that would work for your scenario and try to implement in a way.
I think it was
And if I may, a piece of statistics which I read, which pertains Microsoft. So there was a white paper. I think it was produced by Microsoft Distributors Council or something like that. And basically, what they did, they calculated and they tried to estimate: does Microsoft spend more on R&D or does it spend more on marketing and sales? And they concluded that marketing spends slightly more on that Microsoft spends slightly more on marketing and sales than on R&D. So, and I think it's a good example for many other IT companies, because if we look at companies' founders, they have two things to do, and one is to develop products and deliver what was sold, another is to generate demand. And I think so many founders focus too much on delivering product and less on generating demand, and I think it should be a bit rebalanced, and then companies will see growth, then they will be able to increase price and so on.
Yeah, correct. I think that's the key takeaway, and I think we could talk like 2 more hours around this topic.
But it was a good summary from both of you. As time is running out, we need to wrap up. I would like to thank you guys for again being with us. Thank you, Gabor, for coming and for sharing all these insights. For me, it was very, very helpful and useful. I invite everyone to follow IBD Consulting on LinkedIn or any other channel what you prefer. We have all the episodes of FriTalks. If you just use hashtag FriTalks, available on LinkedIn, or just go to the podcast platform of your preference, search for Sales and Marketing FriTalks there. Or we have a dedicated YouTube channel now where you can also see all the recordings, including this one, and enjoy it, hopefully. Otherwise, please comment, let us know whether you like it, whether not, what type of other questions you would like to learn from Gabor, from others who come and visit us every second Friday. Once again, thanks Gabor, thanks Roland for joining me, and everyone who was together with us live. Also thank you, and wish you a great rest of the Friday and wonderful weekend, and stay tuned.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It was great talking to you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.